Hey guys, it's Chris. From cases of mermaids, wolf monsters, and sea freaks, all the way to a disturbing paranormal discovery of ghosts, here are 10 terrifying discoveries steeped in mystery. Which ones are real and which ones are fake? Be sure to leave your guesses in the comments below. Number 10. Mutant Mermaid. In a world of Photoshop and trolls, it's hard to always know what's real and what's fake. Take the example of a mutant mermaid supposedly discovered in Indonesia by a group of fishermen. So far as the story goes, the mutant mermaid was captured inside of the fisherman's net. A video was then uploaded online that claimed the creature was proof that there are indeed strange humanoid things living beneath the waves. Half its body was shaped like a fish, and the other half was shaped kinda like a human. This obviously caught the attention of a lot of people, but is it real or fake? Is this a sea monster, a terrifying discovery that has opened a world of possibilities, or is it just another hoax? Unfortunately, this strange creature was not actually caught in Indonesia. It's not a mutation, and it's not even a mermaid. According to a report from the Maritime Herald, the mermaid is actually a sculpture that was crafted by a rather talented artist from Thailand. The sculpture was supposedly presented during an exhibition at the University of Arts in Thailand, which was aimed at making people more aware of the nature around them. It definitely looks like a terrifying discovery from a horror movie, but it's just a bunch of silicone. But don't worry, not all the terrifying discoveries today are fake. There are definitely some real freaky ones on this list. Number 9. Voodoo Market. The images you're looking at now are supposedly from a voodoo fetish market somewhere in Africa. Right away, you can see the skulls and heads of all kinds of animals, ranging from monkeys to what appears to be hyenas. But are these real bones being sold at a real voodoo market, or is it just a bunch of movie props? The supposed voodoo market is located in the heart of Lome, the capital of Togo. It's a market dedicated to the sale of ingredients that are used in voodoo and magic. It's also supposed to be the largest fetish market in the world, where those who practice voodoo can find anything at all that they want for their rituals. If you guessed that this place is real, well, you're 100% right. This is indeed a real voodoo market full of all kinds of horrifying things just waiting to be discovered. In case you need a bit of history, voodoo originated in West Africa in countries like Togo, Nigeria, and Ghana, and today voodoo is still very much alive. People who practice voodoo believe that using animal parts and talismans can solve all kinds of problems. And to be honest, it's not that different from drinking wine and eating crackers and whispering to yourself in the dark. In this market, you can find animal heads, crocodiles, and all kinds of other stuff to begin your journey with black magic. And don't worry, supposedly the animals being sold in the market were never harmed or murdered. They were just collected in the wild from animals that were already dead. Number 8. The Himalayan Yeti. You know, it'd be so nice to finally have some proof that there is a giant Yeti living in the Himalayas. A recent report from the BBC has revealed some of the newest information regarding the man-ape that has supposedly been living in the snowy mountains of the Himalayas for centuries. The Yeti is supposed to be huge, part man and part monkey, covered in white fur, and located somewhere high up in the mountains living in a cave. The character has been part of local legends for thousands of years, especially among the people who live high up in the mountains. And while there have been all kinds of questionable evidence found over the years, including a footprint in the snow that allegedly belonged to a Yeti and eyewitness accounts from several mountaineers, there's actually been zero proof that Yetis exist. According to the newest report from the BBC, experts have come forward to say that Yeti does exist, but that it's actually just a bear. All of the physical evidence that has been found throughout the years has always traced back to a bear, including the footprints and hair. Now researchers are saying that the Yeti is a real species of bear that the local people have blown way out of proportion. DNA evidence from India and Bhutan have been analyzed by professionals, who now claim that the Yeti is genetically similar to a polar bear that lived in the region 40,000 years ago. So it looks like the Yeti case is closed. Number 7. The ugliest fish ever. Let's take a look at an alleged creature from the depths of the ocean caught near Russia. At first glance, this disgusting fish doesn't look like it could be real at all. It has eyeballs bulging out of its head as if it's the most surprised fish that has ever existed. It was allegedly caught by a commercial fisherman, who then posted the photographs on Instagram. But is this a real thing, or is it just somebody trying to get a bit of attention? Well, it's 100% real. It's also extremely rare to find this fish out in the ocean. It's known as a ridge-scaled rattail, and if you search for images of this thing, you will mostly find artist drawings because it's such an unusual animal to find. They live at an extreme depth of about 4,000 feet, and their main characteristic is their huge eyes. While the photos uploaded online were probably tweaked to make the fish look larger and scarier than it really is, the ridge-scaled rattail is definitely a real fish. Number 6. The chupacabra. Recent photographs from Nebraska have given rise to new rumors of a chupacabra. The photographic evidence appears to show some kind of hairy beast with huge teeth that some people are claiming is the legendary chupacabra monster. While it does seem a little strange the chupacabra would show up in Nebraska, there's no denying that these photographs are pretty convincing. Even the South Carolina Department of Natural Resources was retweeting the photographs. The monster was allegedly found near Martinsburg. That's about 11 miles from Ponca State Park. It was dragged to a woman's home by her dog, and even though it looks a lot like a monster, she claims it's just a raccoon that's had its hair bleached in the sun. In this case, the photographs are 100% real, but the identity of the monster remains a mystery. Because of its advanced state of decomposition, it could be a blonde raccoon, a fox, or even just another dog. While it's unlikely to be a blood-sucking creature of legend, people are still gonna claim it's a chupacabra. There's really no silencing the conspiracy theorists. Number 5. Enormous sea monster. You may have seen the photographs circulating of a monstrous creature stranded on the beach, surrounded by a bunch of curious onlookers. And while it definitely looks like the creature is enormous, possibly over 20 feet long, the truth is that it's not. The monster is real, but it's been blown up and put into the wrong photograph. According to Snopes, the picture actually shows the Montauk Monster, which washed ashore in New York back in 2008 and was likely nothing but a raccoon. Somebody used digital manipulation to switch the original photograph of the Montauk Monster from 2008 with a picture of a dead whale found in Chile back in 2011. And this isn't the only repurposed photo. There are many different photographs of the same location but with a different sea monster there. While the Montauk Monster was definitely a weird mystery when it showed up, it was quickly debunked as being nothing but a hairless raccoon. And as for the dead whale found in Chile, well, sadly that kind of thing happens all the time. Number 4. Mysterious wolf creature. Our next report is of a mysterious wolf-like creature that was shot dead in Montana and is apparently baffling experts. According to several different news reports, the United States wildlife experts have been stumped ever since photographs of the animal appeared online. It was allegedly shot by a rancher in the middle of the sticks, and since then nobody can figure out what it is. Its claws are too small for it to be a wolf, but because of its strange features, some people are saying it's actually a direwolf. For those who don't know, direwolves once roamed North America, but have been extinct since at least the last ice age. And just like one of our other stories, some people are saying it's the chupacabra, but it's not nearly threatening enough to be a blood-sucking creature of legend. A wolf management specialist has actually come forward to say that the animal is probably a wolf and dog hybrid, and that theory does make sense. State wildlife officials have since taken DNA samples, and they say it's a member of the dog family, but they can't determine whether it's a fox, dog, coyote, or a wolf. Number 3. The Fiji Mermaid. When the Fiji Mermaid was displayed in London back in 1822, most people accepted that it wasn't real. But in our current age of conspiracy lunatics, the authenticity of the Fiji Mermaid has come back into question. Let me be the first to say that the 3-foot mermaid skeleton that you've likely seen all over the internet is not actually a mystical creature caught near the Fiji Islands in the South Pacific. This creature began its life as a sculpture in Europe in the 1800s as an obvious fake, but it was purchased by a man named Griffin and moved to New York City in 1842, where it began to be touted as the real deal. In the capitalist culture of America, the new owner of the mermaid wanted to make some money off it. He created a massive scandal and tried to convince as many people as possible that the Fiji Mermaid was captured by him while out on a fishing vessel. Now in 2020, people are still going over the Fiji Mermaid as the best proof out there for cryptids living in the ocean. But guess what? 200 years later and it's still not real. Number 2. Rare baby dragon. Believe it or not, a rare dragon has been found by scientists. This story is definitely real and it's definitely fascinating, but it's also just a play on words. This rare salamander, also known as a baby dragon, has been found in an underwater cave in Bosnia-Herzegovina, which is a country in Southeast Europe. This creature is exciting because it really does look like it could be a dragon. It doesn't breathe fire, but it has some pretty amazing supernatural abilities. First, it's blind. Second, it apparently spends 100 years of its life underwater and can sit completely still for months and months. It also lives in a region of Europe where there are at least 7,000 caves out of reach of humans and unexplored. This means that there could be a whole underground world full of these weird baby dragons. The only reason this one was found was because some of the creatures were coming outside of the caves after a heavy rain. But if scientists had to go inside the caves, they probably would never have found them at all. It's doubtful these baby dragons will ever grow into Game of Thrones types of dragons, but they still make for one amazing story, and they're probably the coolest thing ever found in caves. They're certainly better than bats and giant centipedes if you ask me. Number 1. Lincoln's Ghost. Let's move away from animals and check out ghosts for our last story. William H. Mumler was an American spirit photographer who allegedly captured the ghost of Abraham Lincoln. But that's not all. He apparently captured his first ghost in a self-portrait of himself, also known as the original selfie. After he developed the picture, he saw the spirit of his deceased cousin. Mumler then realized that he had a pretty impressive talent, and so he left his job to pursue spirit photography. He did this by taking advantage of the people who had lost so many friends and family in the American Civil War, as the entire country was grieving at the time. His most famous picture ever was when he captured Abraham Lincoln in a photograph taken of the dead president's widow, Mary Todd Lincoln. And while this seems too good to be true, well, that's because it is. Mumler was eventually tried in court for fraud and larceny. He was acquitted, but after the hearing, his career was over anyways. Mumler died as a very poor man, and he's now known as one of the very first frauds of the paranormal movement. If you see any of his ghost portraits, keep in mind they are total fakes. Did you guess which discoveries were real and which one of these ones were fake? Let me know in the comments below if you did, and thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe to World List, and don't forget to come back soon for another amazing video.